So in this Bhagavad-gītā, the subject matter is comprehending 5 different truths. The first truth is what is God? It is the preliminary study of the science of God. So, that science of God is explained here. Next, the constitutional position of the living entities, jīva. Īśvara and jīva. The Lord, the Supreme Lord, is called Īśvara. Īśvara means controller. And jīva, the living entities, and the jīvas, the living entities, they are not Īśvara or the controller. They are controlled. Artificially, if I say that I am not controlled, I am free, this is not the sign of a sane man. A living being is controlled in every respect. At least in his conditioned life, he is controlled. So, in this Bhagavad-gītā, the subject matter comprehends about the Īśvara, the supreme controller, and about the controlled living entities, and prakṛti, the nature, the material nature, and next, the time, duration of existence of the whole universe, or this manifestation of the material nature, and the duration of time, or the eternal time, and karma. Karma means activity. Everything, the whole universe, whole manifestation, cosmic manifestation, is full of different activities. The living being, especially, they are all engaged in different activities. So we have to study from the Bhagavad-gītā, Īśvara, what is God, jīva, what are these living entities, and prakṛti, what is this cosmic manifestation, and how it is controlled by time, and what are these activities. Now, out of these 5 subject matter, in the Bhagavad-gītā, it is established that the Supreme Godhead, or Krishna, or Brahma, or Paramatma, you may call whatever you like, but the Supreme Controller, there is a Supreme Controller. So, the Supreme Controller is the greatest of all. And the living beings, they are in quality like the Supreme Controller. Just like the Supreme Controller, the Lord, He has control over the universal affairs, over the material nature, how it will be explained in the later chapters of Bhagavad-gītā, that this material nature is not independent. She is acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. This material nature is working under my direction, Maya dhakshena, under my superintendence. So, we are mistaken when we see wonderful things happening in the cosmic nature. We should know that behind these wonderful manifestations there is a controller. Nothing can be manifested without being controlled. It is childish to not to consider about the controller. Just like a very nice motor car with very good speed and very good engineering arrangement is running on this street. A child may think that how this motor car is running without the help of any horse or any pulling agent. But a sane man or an elderly person, he knows that in spite of all engineering arrangements in the motor car, without the driver it cannot move. That engineering arrangement of a motor car or an electric powerhouse, now at the present moment it is the day of machinery. But we should always know that behind the machinery, behind the wonderful working of the machinery, there is a driver. So the Supreme Lord is the driver, Adhyaksha. He is the Supreme Personality under whose direction everything is working. Now, these jīva, or the living entities, they have been accepted by the Lord in this Bhagavad-gītā, as we will know it in later chapters, that they are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Mamaivaṅsa jīva bhūta. Ansa means parts and parcels. Now, as the particle of gold is also particle, a drop of water of the ocean is also salty. Similarly, we, the living entities, being part and parcels of the Supreme Controller, Īśvara, Bhagavan, or Lord Sri Krishna, we have got, qualitatively, all the qualities of the Supreme Lord in mind. Because we are minute Īśvara, subordinate Īśvara. We are also trying to control. We are just trying to control over the nature. In the present days, we are trying to control over the space. We are trying to float imitation planets. So this tendency of controlling or creating is there because partially we have got that controlling tendency. But we should know that this tendency is not sufficient. We have the tendency of controlling over the material nature, lording it over the material nature. But we are not the supreme controller. That thing is explained in the Bhagavad-gītā. Then, what is this material nature? The nature is also explained. The nature, material nature, is explained in the Bhagavad-gītā as inferior prakṛti. Inferior prakṛti and the living entities are explained as the superior prakṛti. Prakṛti means which is controlled, which is under prakṛti. Real meaning of prakṛti is a woman or a female. Just like a husband controls the activities of his wife. Similarly, the prakṛti is also a subordinate, predominated. The Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the predominator, and this prakṛti, both the living entities and the material nature, they are different prakṛtis or predominated, controlled by the Supreme. So, according to Bhagavad-gītā, the living entities, although they are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, they are taken as prakṛti. It is clearly mentioned in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad-gītā. Yes, aparayam, itastu vidhi apara. This material nature is aparayam, itastu, and beyond this there is another prakṛti. And what is that prakṛti? Jīva bhuta. So, this prakṛti, the constitution of this prakṛti is constituted by 3 qualities. The mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. And about these modes, 3 different kinds of modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, there is eternal time. There is eternal time. And by combination of these modes of nature and under the control, under the purview of this eternal time, there are activities. There are activities which is called karma. These activities are being done from time immemorial, and we are suffering or enjoying the fruits of our activities. Just like in the present life also, we enjoy the activities, the fruits of our activities. Suppose I am a businessman and I have worked very hard with intelligence, and I have amassed a vast amount of bank balance. Now I am the enjoyer. Similarly, suppose I start in my business with a vast amount of money, I failed to make it successful, I lost all the money, so I am sufferer. So similarly, in every field of her life, we enjoy the result of our work. This is called karma. So these things, Īśvara, jīva, prakṛti, are the Supreme Lord, are the living entity, the material nature, the eternal time, and our different activities. These things are explained in the Bhagavad-gītā. Now, out of these 5, the Lord, the living entities and the material nature and time, these four items are eternal. Now, manifestation of prakṛti may be temporary, but it is not false. Some philosophers say that this manifestation of material nature is false. But according to the philosophy of Bhagavad-gītā, or according to the philosophy of the Vaishnavas, they do not accept the manifestation of the world as false. They accept that the manifestation is real, but it is temporary. It is just like a cloud takes place in the sky and the rainy season begins, and after the rainy season there are so many new green vegetation all over the field we can see. And as soon as the rainy season is finished and then the cloud is vanquished, generally, gradually, all this vegetation dry up and again the land becomes barren. Similarly, this material manifestation takes place at a certain interval. We will understand it, we will know it from the pages of the Bhagavad-gītā. Bhutta bhutta praliyate. These manifestations becomes magnificent at a certain interval, and again it disappears. That is the work of the prakṛti. But it is working eternally. Therefore prakṛti is eternal. It is not false. Because the Lord has accepted mama prakṛti, my prakṛti. Aparayam itastu viddhi me prakṛti param. Bhinna prakṛti. Bhinna prakṛti, apara prakṛti. This material nature is a separated energy of the Supreme Lord, and the living entities, they are also energy of the Supreme Lord, but they are not separated. They are eternally related. So the Lord, the living entity, the nature, material nature and time, they are all eternal. But the other item, karma, is not eternal. The effects of karma or activity may be very old. We are suffering or enjoying the results of our activities from a time immemorial, but still we can change the result of our karma or activity. That will depend on our perfect knowledge. We are engaged in various activities, undoubtedly, but we do not know what sort of activities we shall adopt that will give us relief from the actions and reactions of all activities. That is also explained in the Bhagavad-gītā. Now, the position of Īśvara is a supreme consciousness. Position of Īśvara, the Supreme Lord, is supreme consciousness. And the jīvas, or the living entities, being parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, he is also conscious. A living entity is also conscious. The living entity is explained as prakṛti, energy, and the material nature is also explained as prakṛti, but amongst the two, one prakṛti, the jīvas, they are conscious, the other prakṛti is not conscious. That is the difference. Therefore, the jīva prakṛti is called superior because the jīva has consciousness similar to the Lord. The Lord is supreme consciousness. One should not claim that a jīva, a living entity, is also supremely conscious. No. A living being cannot be supremely conscious at any stage of his perfection. This is a misleading theory. This is misleading theory. But he is conscious, that's all. But he is not supreme conscious. The supreme conscious, it will be explained in the Bhagavad-gītā, in the chapter where the distinction between the jīva and Īśvara is explained. Khetra, khetragya. This khetragya has been explained that the Lord is also khetragya or conscious, and the jīvas or the living beings, they are also conscious. But the difference is that a living being is conscious within his limited body, but the Lord is conscious of all bodies. Īśvara sarvabhūtānām hridesha arjuna tishtati. The Lord lives within the core of heart in every living being. Therefore, he is conscious of the psychic movements, activities of the Lord, of the particular jīva. We should not forget, it is also explained that the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is living in everyone's heart as Īśvara, as the controller. And he is giving direction. He is giving direction. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishya. Everyone's heart he is situated, and he gives direction to act as he desires. The living entity forgets what to do. First of all, he makes his determination to act in a certain way, and then he is entangled in the actions and reactions of his own karma. But after giving up one type of body, when he enters another type of body, just like we give up one kind of dress, one type of dress for another type of dress. Similarly, it is explained in this Bhagavad-gītā that vasangsi jinnani jatha vihaya. One changes his different dresses. Similarly, the living entities, they are also changing different bodies, transmigration of the soul, and pulling on the actions and reactions of his past activities. So, these activities can be changed when a living being is in the mode of goodness, in sanity, and he understands what sort of activities he should adopt. And if he does so, then the whole action and reactions of his past activities can be changed. Therefore, karma is not eternal. Other things out of the 5 items, Īśvara, jīva, prakṛti, kāla, and karma, these 4 items are eternal, whereas the karma, the item known as karma, that is not eternal. Now, the conscious Īśvara, the supreme conscious Īśvara, and the difference between supreme conscious Īśvara, the Lord, and the living being is, in the present circumstances, is like this. Consciousness of both of the Lord and the living entities, they are, this consciousness is transcendent. It is not that this consciousness is generated by the association of this matter. That is a mistaken idea. The theory that consciousness develops under certain circumstances of material combination is not accepted in the Bhagavad-gītā. They cannot be. Consciousness may be perfectly reflected by the cover of material circumstances, just like light reflected through a colored glass may seem according to the color. Similarly, the consciousness of Lord, it is not materially affected. The Supreme Lord, just like Krishna, where he says that Maya dhakkena prakriti, when he descends in this material world, his consciousness is not materially affected. Had his consciousness been materially affected, he was unfit to speak about the transcendental subject matter in the Bhagavad-gītā. One cannot say anything about the transcendental world without being free from the materially contaminated consciousness. So, the Lord was not materially contaminated, but and our consciousness at the present moment is materially contaminated. So whole thing, as the Bhagavad-gītā teaches, we have to purify the materially contaminated consciousness. And in that pure consciousness, the actions will be done that will make us happy. We cannot stop. We cannot stop our activity. The activities are to be purified. And these purified activities are called bhakti. Bhakti means they appear also just like ordinary activity, but they are not contaminated activities. They are purified activities. So, an ignorant person may see that a devotee is working like an ordinary man, but a person with poor fund of knowledge, he does not know that the activities of a devotee or the activities of the Lord, they are not contaminated by the impure consciousness of matter, the impurity of the three gunas, modes of nature, a transcendental consciousness. So, our consciousness is materially contaminated, we should know. Now, when we are such materially contaminated, that is called our conditioned stage. Conditioned stage. And the false ego, the false consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am one of the product of this material nature. That is called false ego. The whole material activities, jasatma buddhi kunape tridhatuke, jasatma buddhi kunape tridhatuke. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conception. Now the whole Bhagavad-gītā was explained by the Lord because Arjuna represented himself with bodily conception. So one has to get free from the bodily conception of life. That is the preliminary activity for a transcendentalist who wants to get free, who wants to be liberated. He has to learn first of all that he is not this material body. So this consciousness, a material consciousness, when we are freed from this material consciousness, that is called mukti. Mukti or liberation means to become free from material consciousness. In the Srimad Bhagavad also, the definition of liberation is said, mukti hitva annatha rupam sarupena avastiti. Sarupena avastiti. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and to become situated in pure consciousness. And the whole instruction of Bhagavad-gītā is targeted to awaken that pure consciousness. We will find in the last stage of the instruction of Bhagavad-gītā that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he is now in purified consciousness. Whether he was in purified consciousness. The purified consciousness is to act according to the direction of the Lord. That is purified consciousness. That is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. Consciousness is already there, but because we are part and parcels, therefore we are affected. There is affinity of being affected by the material modes. But the Lord being supreme, He is never affected. He is never affected. That is the difference between the Lord and the Supreme Lord and the... Now, this consciousness is... What is this consciousness? This consciousness is that I am what I am. When in contaminated consciousness, this I am means that I am the Lord of all I survey. This is impure consciousness. And I am the enjoyer. The whole material world is moving, that every living being is thinking that I am the Lord and I am the creator of this material world. The consciousness has got two psychic movement or two psychic division. One is that I am the creator and the other is I am the enjoyer. So the Supreme Lord is actually the creator and He is actually the enjoyer. And the living entities, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, he is not actually the creator or the enjoyer, but he is a cooperator. Just like the whole machine, the part of the machine is a cooperator, Or if we can study just the constitution of our body. Now, in the body, there are hands, there are legs, there are eyes, and all these instruments working. But all these parts and parcels of the body, they are not enjoyer. The stomach is the enjoyer. The leg is moving from one place to another. The hand is collecting. The hand is preparing foodstuff. And the teeth is chewing. And everything, all parts of body are engaged in satisfying the stomach. Because the stomach is the principal and fact within the organization of this body, and everything should be given to the stomach. Pranopaharat jathendriyana. Just like you can see a tree green by pouring water in the root, or you can become healthy. The parts of the body, the hand, the leg, the eyes, the ears, the fingers, everything keeps in healthy stage when the parts of the body cooperate with the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Living Being, the Lord, He is the enjoyer. He is the enjoyer. And He is the creator. And we, subordinate living beings, the products of the energy of the Supreme Lord, we are just to cooperate with Him. That cooperation will help. Just for example, a good foodstuff taken by the fingers, if the fingers think that why should we give it to the stomach? Let us enjoy. That is a mistake. The fingers are unable to enjoy. If fingers want the fruit of enjoyment of that particular foodstuff, the fingers must put it into the stomach. So the whole arrangement is that the central figure of creation, the central figure of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord. And the living entities, they are simply cooperate. By cooperation they enjoy. The relation is just like the master and the servant. If the master is satisfied, if the master is fully satisfied, the servants are automatically satisfied. That is the law. Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied, although the tendency for becoming a creator and the tendency to enjoy this material world is there also in the living entities, because it is there in the Supreme Lord. He has created the manifested cosmic world. Therefore, we shall find in this Bhagavad-gītā that the complete whole comprising the supreme controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, the eternal time, and the activities, all of them are completely explained. So, the whole thing taken together completely is called the absolute truth. The complete whole or the supreme absolute truth is therefore the complete personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. As we have explained, that the manifestations are due to his different energies, and he is the complete whole. The impersonal Brahman is explained in the Bhagavad-gītā that impersonal Brahma is also subordinate to the complete person. Brahmanaham pratishtha. Impersonal Brahma is also, the impersonal Brahma is more explicitly explained in the Brahma Sutra as the rays, as there is the rays of the sunshine, sun planet. Similarly, the impersonal Brahma is the shining rays of the Supreme Brahma or the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, impersonal Brahma is incomplete realization of the absolute complete whole, and so also the conception of Paramatma. These things are also explained. Purushottam Yoga. When we shall read the chapter of Purushottam Yoga, it will be seen that the Supreme Personality, Purushottam, is above the impersonal Brahma and partial realization of Paramatma. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Satchidananda Vigraha. In the Brahma Samhita, the beginning is started like this. Īśvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Govinda, Krishna, is the cause of all causes. He is the primary Lord. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Satchidananda Vigraha. Impersonal Brahman realization is the realization of his Sat part, eternity. And Paramatma realization is the realization of Satchit, eternal knowledge, part realization. But realization of the personality of Godhead as Krishna is realization of all the transcendental features like Sat, Chit and Ananda in complete Vigraha. Vigraha means form. Vigraha means form. Abhaktam bhaktimapannam mannati mavabuddhaya. People with less intelligence, they consider the Supreme Truth as impersonal. But he is a person, he is a transcendental person. This is confirmed in all Vedic literature. Nitya, Nityanam, Chetana, Chetananam. So, as we are also persons, individual living beings, we are persons, we have got our individuality. We are all individual. Similarly, the Supreme Truth, the Supreme Absolute is also the ultimate issue. He is a person. But realization of the personality of Godhead is realization of all the transcendental features like Sat, Chit and Ananda in complete Vigraha. Vigraha means form. Therefore, the complete whole is not formless. If he is formless or if he is less in any other thing, he cannot be complete whole. The complete whole must have everything within our experience and beyond our experience. Otherwise, he cannot be complete. the complete whole personality of Godhead, has immense potencies. Parasa Shakti Vividhaiva Suyate. That is also explained in Bhagavad-gītā. How he is acting in different potencies. This phenomenal world, or the material world, where we are now put, is also complete by itself, because Purnamidam, the 24 elements of which, according to Sankhya philosophy, the 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation, are completely adjusted to produce complete things which are necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. No extraneous effort by any other unit is required for the maintenance of the universe. It has its own time fixed up by the energy of the complete whole, and when the time is complete, these temporary manifestations will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete. There is complete facility for the small complete units, namely the living entities, to realize the complete. And all sorts of incompleteness is experienced on account of incomplete knowledge of the complete. So, the Bhagavad-gītā is the complete knowledge of the Vedic wisdom. The whole Vedic knowledge is infallible. There are different examples how we take Vedic knowledge as infallible. Take for example, so far the Hindus are concerned and how they accept the Vedic knowledge as complete. Here is an insignificant example. Just like the cow dung. The cow dung is the stool of an animal. According to Smriti or Vedic wisdom, if one touches the stool of an animal, he has to take his bath to purify himself. But in the Vedic scriptures, the cow dung is stated as pure. Rather, impure place or impure things are purified by touch of the cow dung. Now, if one argues how it is that in one place it is said that the stool of the animal is impure, in another place it is said that the cow dung, which is also the stool of an animal, it is pure. So it is contradictory. But actually, it may appear to be contradictory, but because it is Vedic injunction, therefore, for our practical purposes, we accept it. And by that acceptance, we are not committing mistake. It has been found by modern chemists, modern science. One Dr. Lal Mohan Ghosa, he has very minutely analyzed the cow dung, and he has found the cow dung is a composition of all antiseptic properties. So similarly, he has also analyzed the water of the Ganges out of curiosity. So my idea is that Vedic knowledge is complete because it is above all doubts and all mistakes. And Bhagavad-gītā is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is therefore infallible. It comes down through the perfect disciplic succession. Therefore, Vedic knowledge is not a thing of research. Our research work is imperfect because we are searching everything with imperfect senses. Therefore, the result of our research work is also imperfect. It cannot be perfect. We have to accept the perfect knowledge. The perfect knowledge is coming down, as it is stated in the Bhagavad-gītā. Just we have begun. Evam parampara prartham imang rajul. We have to receive the knowledge from the right source in a disciplic succession of spiritual masters, beginning from the Lord Himself. The Bhagavad-gītā is spoken by the Lord Himself, and Arjuna, the student who took lessons of the Bhagavad-gītā, he accepted the whole story as it is, without any cutting. That is also not allowed, that we accept a certain portion of Bhagavad-gītā and reject another portion. That is also not accepted. We must accept the Bhagavad-gītā without interpretation, without any cutting, and without our own whimsical participation in the matter, because it should be taken as the most perfect Vedic knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is received from the transcendental sources because the first word was spoken by the Lord Himself. The word spoken by the Lord is called apaurusiya, or not delivered by any person of the mundane world who is infected with four principles of imperfectness. A living being of the mundane world has four defective principles of his life, and they are: one, that he must commit mistake; two, he must be sometimes illusion; and three, he must try to cheat others; and four, he is endowed with imperfect senses. With all these four principles of imperfectness, one cannot deliver the perfect form of information in the matter of all-pervading knowledge. The Vedas are not like that. The Vedic knowledge was imparted in the heart of Brahma, the first created living being, and Brahma, in his turn, disseminated the knowledge to his sons and disciples as they are originally received from the Lord. The Lord being Purnam, or all perfect, there is no chance of his becoming subjected to the laws of material nature. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that except the Lord, nobody is the proprietor of anything within the universe. That is explained in the Bhagavad-gītā. Aham sarvasya prabhava, matta sarvam pravartati, iti matya bhajanti mam, buddha bhavo samandita. The Lord is the original creator. He is the creator of Brahma. He is the creator, that is also explained. He is the creator of Brahma. In the 11th chapter, the Lord is addressed as Prapitamaha, because Brahma is addressed as Pitamaha, the grandfather. But he is the creator of the grandfather also. So, nobody should claim to be the proprietor of anything, but he must accept things which are set aside by the Lord as his quota of maintenance.